Hey, future nurses or current students, welcome to Nursing Matrix. Let's imagine you're a student nurse on your very first day of clinicals. You're nervous, excited, ready to finally put everything you've learned into practice. Your preceptor walks up to you and throws a med-surg textbook at you and says, "Here, you're responsible for this patient, get going." That would be terrifying, right? You can't do that on your own. You need guidance, right? And they're throwing you into the deep end, hoping you swim to shore. Well, believe it or not, that exact scenario happened to the very first psychiatric nurses. Insane, right? Today's video will be a part 1 to a Hildegard Peplau theory. So let's start our topic. Otherwise, keep watching to learn how Peplau took on the medical field and created the foundation for psychiatric nursing. In this video, I introduced you to Hildegard Peplau. Now fast forward to 1952, the year she published Interpersonal Relations in Nursing. At this time, nurses were viewed as assistants and technicians assisting physicians in carrying out medical orders. But Peplau challenged this perspective. Her theory marked a significant shift in the nursing profession. In fact, it sparked a series of debates and discussions that continue to shape nursing practice today. Her model emphasizes the importance of the nurse-patient relationship, positioning nurses as key contributors to the healing process rather than mere assistants. So let's talk about those 4 phases. Peplau outlined 4 phases of the nurse-patient relationship. These phases provided a structured approach to nursing practice, emphasizing the dynamic and evolving nature of the nurse-patient interaction. According to Peplau, these phases include orientation, identification, exploitation, and resolution. During the orientation phase, both the nurse and the patient are getting to know one another. The patient is experiencing illness and is often anxious, confused, and sometimes frightened. During this stage, the nurse introduces themselves, explains their role, and establishes the boundaries of the nurse-patient relationship. The nurse also begins to assess the patient as physical and psychological needs and develops a plan of care. At this stage, the patient may be apprehensive about sharing personal information, but the nurse creates a safe and non-judgmental environment that encourages openness. The second phase is identification. As the nurse continues to interact with the patient, a bond begins to form. The patient starts to express their emotions, and the nurse provides support and guidance. The nurse clarifies the patient's diagnosis, prognosis, and treatment options, and helps the patient make decisions about their care. By actively listening and empathizing with the patient, the nurse builds trust and rapport. And once trust has been established, the third phase, which is exploitation, can begin. During this phase, the patient feels comfortable enough to share their thoughts and feelings openly. The nurse uses this opportunity to help the patient explore their emotions and develop coping mechanisms. The nurse also educates the patient and helps them make positive lifestyle changes. And finally, the 4th phase is resolution. As the patient progresses in their recovery, the nurse gradually transitions from being a primary resource to being a supportive one. The nurse helps the patient set goals for the future and provides resources for ongoing support. Ultimately, the goal of this phase is to help the patient achieve independence. Once the patient is stable and no longer requires ongoing support, the nurse-patient relationship is terminated. But this wasn't all that she did. Peplau's influence extended beyond theoretical frameworks. She played a pivotal role in shaping nursing education and practice. She advocated for the inclusion of psychiatric nursing in nursing curricula and helped establish the American Nurses Association as division of psychiatric nursing. Psychiatric nursing was still in its infancy. Nurses working in this field lacked specialized training and clear guidelines. Patients with mental health issues were stigmatized and often institutionalized. Peplau's intervention came in the form of the interpersonal relations theory, which proposed that nurses should view patients as individuals with unique personalities and experiences rather than simply as bearers of disease. She emphasized the importance of the nurse-patient relationship in the healing process, paving the way for a more holistic and patient-centered approach to psychiatric nursing. As an educator, Peplau played a vital role in shaping the next generation of nurses. She taught future nurses the importance of empathy, active listening, and the use of self as a therapeutic tool. She also encouraged nurses to advocate for their patients and to push for greater recognition of nursing as a profession. But why is this important? You might be wondering, well, Peplau's contributions to nursing have had a lasting impact on the profession. Her interpersonal relations theory revolutionized the way nurses approach patient care, particularly in psychiatric nursing. Today, nurses are trained to view patients as individuals and to consider the patient-nurse relationship as a critical component of the healing process. Moreover, Peplau's emphasis on the importance of nursing education and specialization led to the development of more robust nursing programs and greater recognition of nursing as a distinct and essential profession. So, how did Peplau's theories actually affect nurses and their relationships with their patients? To answer that question, let's look at a few studies. One qualitative study explored the lived experiences of nurses who provided mental health care in primary care settings. The findings revealed that Peplau's theory served as a guiding principle for nurses in their practice, influencing their approach to building relationships with patients and addressing their mental health needs within the context of primary care. Another quantitative study examined the relationship between nurses' perceptions of their role in providing mental health care and patient outcomes. The results indicated that nurses who had a deeper understanding of their role in addressing mental health issues and fostering therapeutic relationships with patients were associated with improved patient outcomes. And finally, a mixed methods study investigated the impact of an educational intervention based on Peplau's theory on nurses' knowledge, attitudes, and practices related to mental health care. The study found that the intervention effectively enhanced nurses' knowledge and confidence in providing mental health care, and that these changes in knowledge and attitudes translated into improved patient care. Despite the evidence supporting the relevance and effectiveness of Peplau's theories, challenges and criticisms remain. One challenge is the complexity of implementing Peplau's principles in practice, particularly in healthcare settings that are rapidly evolving due to advancements in technology and increasing demands on healthcare providers. Additionally, there is a need for ongoing education and training to ensure that nurses are equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge to effectively apply Peplau's theories in practice. It is interesting because many critics argue that Peplau's theory is overly focused on the nurse-patient relationship and doesn't adequately address other aspects of nursing practice, such as the role of evidence-based guidelines and protocols. However, supporters of Peplau's theory counter this argument by emphasizing that the strength of the theory lies in its recognition of the unique complexities of the nurse-patient relationship and the importance of considering the patient as a whole person rather than just a set of symptoms or a diagnosis. But overall, Peplau's legacy continues to shape nursing practice and education. Her pioneering work in psychiatric nursing and her focus on the importance of the nurse-patient relationship paved the way for a more holistic and patient-centered approach to nursing. While challenges and criticisms remain, the enduring relevance of Peplau's theories is evident in the continued efforts to integrate them into nursing curricula and practice guidelines. As a side note, in the 1960s, Peplau's ideas started to fade away, but then in the 1970s, they gained momentum again. Hildegard Peplau left an undeniable mark on the nursing world. Her theories not only transformed the way nurses view their role in the healing process, but also laid the groundwork for a more compassionate and patient-centered approach to healthcare. Even today, her ideas continue to be relevant and her legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of nurses around the world. But what about you? How do you see the value of Peplau's theories in today's healthcare system? Do you think there's anything we can do to honor her legacy? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through the life and work of Hildegard Peplau. If you're interested in learning more about influential nurses and the impact they've had on our profession, please don't hesitate to comment below. Your feedback is extremely valuable to us. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Nursing School. Remember to subscribe for more insightful content and check out our other videos. Keep studying, stay curious, and keep caring. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye.